So my name is Katie Miller, and I work for Lifelong Medical Care. And the Lifelong Medical Care is a pretty big organization, but we have a few school health clinics and school sites. And so the one we have interns at is Rosa Parks, which is an elementary school in Berkeley. Rosa Parks is a environmental science magnet school. It's a pretty amazing campus. There's lots of great structures that they've built. And there is one of the highlights that I think is there's a family resource center that has specific child play therapy rooms, which are designed for that. When they rebuilt the school after an earthquake, they created this beautiful center that really is built for supporting the students and the families there. As most people know, Berkeley is a pretty diverse area, both culturally, racially, and socioeconomically. So Rosa Parks represents that community. And I think, it's changed over the course of years and will continue to change. But so school-based social work is a big passion of mine. I've been in school social work for about 7 years. And so generally with a trainee or intern, they will be seeing clients individually. We also offer groups, and those, there are a few standard ones like social time groups during lunchtime that trainees have supported with, but also there's space for a wide variety of groups. In the past, they've had some around separation and divorce, around grief and loss. They've done art groups, and it's kind of really based on the needs of the school and the clients, and also the interests and passions of the trainee. So there's space to really kind of be creative with that particular service. Additionally, trainees will do, if we're not, in the pandemic, hopefully classroom observations, joining teacher meetings, IEP meetings, working with all levels of the school staff to help support the students that are on their caseload. So referrals can come from the students themselves. They can come from families, and a bulk of them usually come from teachers. At most schools, they have a cost meeting, which is basically a space to talk through any student that's popping up on anyone's radar and figure out what services. So generally, a client is referred. There's a form that they fill out with just some basic information, and then myself or Shoshana Rosenberg usually will look through the referrals and assign them for best fit with the trainees. So I think it really is kind of up to the trainee on how big their caseload wants to be, but at minimum, we look for 6. At max, it would be 10, and then usually 2 groups. We offer individual supervision, and then we also offer usually 2 to 3 hours of group supervision. And in that will look like case presentations, and then we also do didactics as part of that. Oftentimes in the beginning, as people are getting oriented and learning about the school, it's a lot of kind of pretty entry to school-based social work trainings like child-centered play therapy, zones of regulation, CBT techniques. And then as the year progresses, we usually move into more specialized. So some nurtured heart approach is one piece that we're doing a training on actually today. Attachment theory, and then we also have access to a bunch of webinars that we can watch, Dan Siegel and all of those things. So, and then process together. So I think being open-minded and creative thinking are really powerful traits for school-based social work or school-based therapy in general. I think there's a lot of space for trying different things out. So those creative approaches to figuring out how to support a student in school. Enthusiastic. And I guess the biggest one is collaboration. So because we're at a school, you have so many different partners that are you can be in contact with, teachers, assistant principals, lunchroom staff, and also families. So you kind of being able to work well with all these different moving parts um, is something that definitely helps trainees be successful. This year, as we're doing distance learning, just in general, like how to kind of switch up interventions so that they translate well to telehealth has been something trainees have been talking about. Additionally, I think working with parents and families can be a piece that's like takes some practice to navigate how you incorporate them into the work, how you set boundaries. Those pieces. I guess I can just like say that I deeply enjoy being able to work within a school. It's a very unique space that you get access to a client, a student for 8 to 10 hours a day, depending on if they are attending after school. So there's just a different way of designing interventions that I think is really can be really magical and supportive. Um, and I think the other piece to just say is that Rosa Parks Family Resource Center that we work out of, that's been functioning for 13 years. So they are deeply integrated into the school community and the school staff. So I think those long relationships really allow trainees to get integrated into the school in a pretty quick way, I guess. It's that piece is really great. I guess the other thing to know is there's a supervisor on site every day, and that there's lots of opportunity for groups if that's what they're looking to expand their practice